In this video, we'll give you the 2023 U.S. Open golf rankings, tiers, best bets, DFS plays. I'm Alan Seslowsky of RotoWire.com, along with the expert, Len Hochberg. And watch this video to the end, and we'll discuss the PGA Liv merger. Where is the 123rd U.S. Open going to take place, and what are some of the specific unique properties of this course?
Well, Alan, it's going to be at Los Angeles Country Club in Beverly Hills, California, right in the heart of Los Angeles. It has never hosted a major championship before. It's a George C. Thomas design. George C. Thomas Jr., the famed architect. He also did Riviera, which we see every year for the Genesis Invitational. It underwent a Gil Hanse redesign in typical U.S. Open fashion. It is long. It's about 7,400 yards. It's a par 70. I think we will see the fairways a little bit wider, letting players really get going off the tee, but it'll get much harder closer to the hole. Scottie Scheffler and Jon Rahm and Brooks Koepka, they're the three best golfers. They're 1, 2, and 3 in my rankings, and they really could be their own tier. Rahm won the Masters, Koepka won the PGA, Scottie Scheffler is there every week. I mean, who's another long hitter? Bryson DeChambeau. We saw him really come alive at the PGA after, not seeing him perform. He went to Liv. But he appears to be back. So he's another big hitter who will be well positioned for this week. And he also is in the top 10.
Other contenders, guys that are inside the top 10 that you could clearly see a path to them being right in the mix on Sunday. Who's your favorite inside the top 10, not in that top 3?
Clearly number 4, and I don't think I'm alone here, is Viktor Hovland. Viktor Hovland has been playing great in the last 3 majors. I think his worst finish was 7th in last year's Open Championship, the Masters, and then the PGA, and he was right there on Sunday with Brooks Koepka at the PGA. But since the PGA last month, he's won the Memorial just a couple of weeks ago, a real big-time tournament in a big boy golf course, a very U.S. Open-like track. He has been playing great golf. It would surprise no one if Viktor Hovland was right there again on Sunday.
You've talked about Matt Fitzpatrick as someone to always watch in your contenders tier. You have him ranked at 13th. How do you like Matt Fitzpatrick's chances of being in the top 5?
Well, Matt Fitzpatrick is the defending champion, so we know he can play on U.S. Open type courses. Now, last year was at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts. Of course, he was very familiar with, so he did have a little bit of an edge. I mean, you really can't take away a major championship from someone for that. But this is a new course. It's a new course for most of these guys, but his game has really evolved. He's gotten to be a much better player. He can really compete on the long courses. I could see him coming in and, somewhere very close to 10th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 13th, somewhere in there.
A little bit deeper down in the 15 to 20 range of your rankings, you have Max Homa at 15, Justin Thomas at 16, and Tony Finau currently sitting at 17. What's the outlook for those 3 guys?
Yeah, well, Max Homa has not had a good history in the majors. For a while, he had trouble making the cut, and that has changed of late. He's now making the cut, but he's still not having high finishes. But this is a course that he's very familiar with. He has the course record of 61. He shot it a long time ago when he was in college, when he sat in the Pac-12 championship. Justin Thomas and Tony Finau have not been that great in majors, but they both have the games that I can't move them too far down. But if they did play well, it would surprise no one. Tyrrell Hatton, the Englishman, he really could go in the top 10. I mean, he is one of the 10 best players on the PGA Tour this year. The rankings don't always mirror that exactly. There are other considerations as well. He has not won a tournament this year, so he will not be as prominent in people's mindsets as a Koepka or a Rahm or a Scheffler. But Tyrrell Hatton has finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th already this year, and he was 12th at the Memorial. He's just playing great golf. He can play on long golf courses. He can play on shorter golf courses. He is a very hot head, and that's his problem. If he can keep his cool, he can be there in contention with all the other guys and certainly be a top 10 guy.
Right on the tier of the top 10, ranked at number 11, you have Hideki Matsuyama. Is he over his injury bug yet?
No, it doesn't appear to be. It's been going on for more than a year now. He's had this neck injury, and some weeks it's fine and he's playing great, and then I guess it flares and he has to withdraw or doesn't play well. So yeah, there's always that caveat with Hideki Matsuyama. But as for Matsuyama, he's just playing great recently. He was in the lead at the Memorial. He did fade, but he showed for a couple of rounds how strong his game can be. And I do like him on courses like this as well. Of course, with him, it all comes down to the putting.
In your always a bridesmaid, never a bride ranking, I think Xander Schauffele certainly qualifies.
Still hasn't won a major. He's been in the top 5, the world rankings now right around there. He's finally gotten off the schneid where he wasn't winning tournaments, has not been winning majors, and he comes close. It's hard to dismiss because he has an all-around game. He just has to put it all together, but he is a guy who definitely is in the top 10.
Pizza bet time, Len. I like to bet a little and win a lot. Give me someone outside of the top 25 that maybe I could put a little bit and get him a top 10 finish, top 5 finish if I'm pushing it. Who's somebody that's a live long shot in the U.S. Open?
Siwoo Kim has not played well in U.S. Opens. He does not have a very good track record. He is playing very well right now. He was just second at the Byron Nelson. He was fourth at the Memorial. I think he's just a different golfer this year. I saw the opening odds on him. He was 130 to 1. I don't think Siwoo Kim can win the tournament, but I think Siwoo Kim can have a good finish and certainly finish in the top 25 and maybe a top 15 or so.
Who's a little bit overrated right now? Someone that you are going to be lower on than the consensus?
Justin Thomas and Tony Finau. I moved them down probably a little bit lower than I thought I would have had them going into my rankings. They just have not been playing really well in the majors lately. And I know that can change because every tournament is itself and they can just have a good week and come out and play well. But for right now, I'm a little bit down on both of them. I don't know if either one are in the top 15 or so. We're going into things, they both could have been in the top 10.
Let's talk a little DFS strategy. What are some of the tactics that you would advise using? Is it pay up for the stars and fill in with long shots? Is it go balanced attack? 1 or 2 basic tips for someone that hasn't had a lot of experience with DFS golf on DraftKings.
One of the things that really runs true, a theme with the majors, not everyone, but an overriding theme, is that there aren't too many guys who can win it. I mean, just these last 2. Rahm won the Masters. Koepka won the PGA. The pool of guys who can win the tournament is pretty small. Maybe 10, maybe 12, maybe even 5 or 6. So I think you really have to identify who you think is going to win the tournament. You have to get that guy in there. He's probably going to be a very expensive guy. So then you have to, you will have to get lower down to fit, under the salary cap. It gets very hard when you get into the 6,000s. But since every top golfer in the world pretty much is here, there are some good values. Guys, not everyone can be in the 9s and the 8s. We invariably see some big name guys get into the 7,000s and maybe even the upper 6,000s.
Bold prediction time, Len. Who's going to win the 2023 U.S. Open?
Scottie Scheffler has been playing so great, like unbelievably, otherworldly, historically great. He's too good a golfer. He is so much better than everyone else right now in every other aspect. He doesn't even have to putt great. He just has to putt less bad, and he could win the tournament. He's going to be number 1 in my rankings.
Since you watched this video to the end, you're going to get Len Hochberg's take on the PGA Liv merger. Is this good for golf?
Golf really couldn't continue the way it had been going with 2 rival factions, and something had to change, and this was a shocker. But if it can bring all the top golfers together week after week or most weeks out of the year, I think that's all any golf fan wants. That's what any sports fan wants when they're watching their sport, be it football or baseball or golf. They just want all the best guys there so we can really identify the best players.
Who won? PGA, Liv, or is this basically a neutral tie right here?
No, I don't think it's neutral. But, Liv is run by Saudi Arabia and the Public Investment Fund, which is the financial arm of Saudi Arabia. And they definitely won. They wanted to make inroads in golf. They wanted to get a foothold in professional golf, and they're trying to do so in other professional sports.
In your opinion, should the guys who broke away to Liv have to pay back a portion of the money that they received as restitution?
I don't think anyone's going to want to give anything back. You know, one of the things that's out there is some of these guys are still due money, large chunks of money. They didn't get all their money up front. Maybe they got 50% up front, then they have 4 or 5 year contracts and they get a check or something, a direct deposit every January 1st. They still have some of that coming. So they may have a decision, because I wonder if, as long as they want to continue to get those payments, if they will be allowed back on the tour.
If you enjoy videos like this, consider hitting the like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notification when RotoWire puts up new video content every day. And right now, you could try RotoWire for free. Unlock our paywall for 2 days. Just go to rotowire.com/try. Also, if you want to read Len Hochberg's dynamic rankings, they're updated right until tee off, and his article, it's linked in the video description below. There you go, Len. Let me see. Let me see you smile a little bit. Let me see you. You want me to do the thing like?
I'm just a little verklempt here. I gotta get ready for this because I'm still writing.